Welcome to episode 93 of the Endless Stream. It is the year 2023, it is January 9th, and it is the first episode of the year. Welcome back to the Endless Stream. I'm Aidan, and as usual, I am joined by Kevin. We are two artists, illustrators, filmmakers, and all-around shit-talkers. And each week we take some of the endless stream of content brought to you through Netflix, Hulu, Spotify, Amazon, Disney. Wherever you get your content, we take a chunk of it, we watch it, and we talk about it. This week we're going to be talking about The Pale Blue Eye. I think we touch on White Noise. We talk about some trailers of stuff coming out. Kevin talks about the way he spent his Christmas. I talk about the way I spent my New Year's. We're just having a roundup of the holidays and talking about some movies. We also talk about the Letterboxd app. Anybody use the Letterboxd app? You can follow me, Aidan Whatva, and you can follow Kevin McNamara on Letterboxd. We're just going to use that now to sort of log movies and review them. It's good fun. If you like what you hear, please consider subscribing to the podcast. Head over to Apple, iTunes, Spotify, and review, subscribe, share, tell people about the Endless Stream. All that stuff helps us out. Rate and review, is that the one? On top of that, you can head over to Instagram, at The Endless Cast, where we put up art and clips to go with each episode. And that's a great place to leave us a comment, send us a direct message, suggest we watch something, tell us we're wrong about something. And if you want to go old school, you can send us an email at theendlesscast@gmail.com. All of that being said, Happy New Year. Let's get into the episode. It is the Endless Stream 2023. We are back. We have so much to talk about, don't we, Kevin?
Yes.
How was your Christmas?
Great. My Christmas was actually very good. I thoroughly enjoyed my Christmas. Probably one of my favorite Christmases ever. And I didn't get anything, which means I really enjoyed the true spirit of Christmas. It only took nearly 35 years. I promise actually this year to be less, to share less than last year and previous years.
Have you said too much?
No, I don't personally feel like I have, but Brian has mentioned it in the past on previous episodes that I have mentioned bowel movements and things in the past.
Fuck
and I don't
off.
think people appreciate it.
Fuck off. Look, Brian has one example of one person that's like, wow, that's a lot of whatever the fuck. I don't think that's a serious... You listen, they can be gross. They can be not even necessarily gross, but just...
I'm just being honest. I'm an open book.
I wouldn't measure...
But this year
I wouldn't change your
the
behavior.
year of the closed book.
Really?
I'll be stoic and polite.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
And I'll just be incredibly analytical of everything I watch.
How did the Christmas eating period affect your bowels?
No, fine. Just heartburn.
Heartburn, yeah? Didn't have any side effects? Okay.
No. Heartburn. Right. That's all. And indigestion. No, I'm just saying I'm gonna go back on the old vegan buzz. On the vegan buzz,
yeah. I've thoroughly slipped on the meal prep end of things. Like I'm still making the meals and they're there and I do eat them, but it does get to the weekend I'm like, hey, pizza, you know?
Yeah.
But that's not a problem really. I'm not.
No, I think you're allowed to obviously eat what you want all the time or eat healthy and all that jazz. But come weekend, have your pizza.
That's it. Yeah.
The only reason I'm going back to veganism is because I just didn't have heartburn when I was vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just I know it sounds kind of like, well, it is what it is, isn't it? But it's kind of just at the end of the day, that's obviously a health thing, and I just have to nip that in the bud and just accept the fact that if I have a non-vegan diet, there's going to be an aspect of my life that's going to be unwell.
When you make meat-based meals, how elaborate are they?
No, they're not at all.
Like you're coming from a cooking family,
mm-hmm.
And I'm just conscious of or wondering if there's a, I guess being, I don't know, engineering or analytical or whatever. It's like, okay, something is giving you heartburn. Is it just meat? Like if you eat like just some clean roast chicken with no sauces or basting or whatever. Like if you experimented and went, okay, baseline product, chicken, without anything else on it, do I have heartburn?
But it won't give me heartburn.
Okay.
See, but the thing is, it's really... Go on, sorry.
No, I'm just wondering, is it by the time that you put a nice sauce based or something on it, something with a bit of chili or a bit of heat or a bit of...
No, not at all, because I ate all the same foods vegan. I just had meat. Instead of meat, I would have had say a veg or mushroom or something like that, you know. I had ramens, I had like roast dinners, I had everything, man.
So it's
everything.
still the same complexity of flavor profiles
Yep,
and
absolutely.
and whatever,
Absolutely.
but it's just
if
the
not
meat
more
is
complex.
adding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It must just be the meat. I just can't. My body just can't digest meat.
I guess it just hangs around and processes a lot longer in the stomach.
Yeah.
He said, knowing next to nothing.
My body doesn't like it.
Oh. Did you go anywhere or do anything cool? Like you went to Wicklow for the Christmas, right?
So I went to Wicklow for a couple of days, and that was good fun. And then we were back home for a couple of days. Then, and we well, obviously we went back to work and stuff. And then I'm just back from Athlone.
Just back from Athlone.
Yes,
Very good.
I only went there yesterday.
I stayed
on
I
Friday.
stayed pretty much local with the families, with my mother and my brother. I stayed in on New Year's Eve because, like, family. And then my brother went home around 9 o'clock, and my mother went to bed around 10 o'clock. And I was sitting at the living room on my own at 11 o'clock with 3 cats. And I was like,
Getting sick on you.
no. But they were lovely cats. But I went to bed early then. I was just like, yeah, I guess that's fine. It's not that I hate, like, I like a solitude-y evening with a movie on and like whatever. Mm-hmm. But it was funny that it was like, I could have gone and done a thing if we were all going to like...
Well, for next time though, dude. You do know for next time, you know?
Yeah.
Don't do it again. If it's a thing that, you know, would if it's a thing
there's something I'd like to do,
oh,
go and do it.
Yeah, go and do it. Yeah, because I don't care for New Year's at all. And just mostly because of the crowds and the lack of taxis and X, Y, and Z. But we'll have to organise a New Year's end of stream bash arama. So but what's the deal with all the animals in your house?
Well, they're family, you know. You gotta. We've got 5 cats. My brother has 2 rabbits, 2 guinea pigs, whack of chickens. They're around a lot as well. They're in the garden. He's got a little farm going. Grew a whole whack of pumpkins. Bunch of corn. Apples. Yeah. Got a little urban
That's
farm
amazing.
thing happening. I don't know.
All the animals look beautiful. I love chickens.
I'll send you a thing. I was just out there yesterday and I took, like, I'm not usually down the end of the garden.
Yeah, send all those things to me. But I have consumed a healthy Christmas amount of content.
All right. Well, let's start with, like, because you commented on structure a little bit towards the end of last year. So we used to start with here's some sort of upcoming things, some trailers, some upcoming news. Did you see anything in the last sort of week or so that's like, here's something coming that's got you excited?
So what I've realised, having spent time in other people's houses over the Christmas period, is that my Netflix does me a disservice.
Interesting. What does that mean?
As in, I go to my friends' houses,
Yep.
and we have Netflix on, and it does that whole, like, scrolling, like, you know, different shows that are coming up and things you can watch, you know? And, like, on my Netflix, it's crap. Like, it just shows me crap. But on my friend's Netflix, it shows, like, really interesting things and stuff I never heard of and things I find intriguing. So I'm going to wipe my Netflix account and start again.
What's it showing?
Not really showing anything, man. Just the big things, you know, like the generic big things, you know?
Yeah. Well, like, it's funny you say that, because I opened, I've been watching a lot of stand-up on Netflix, and I went to search, and I put stand-up in, and I got the option stand-up, and it showed on the side panel, I counted, accessible to me through that search of specifically the phrase stand-up.
Stand-up, yeah.
40 titles. Now that feels light, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Considering
10 plus years.
10 plus years, 3 of them were Taylor Tomlinson, 3 of them were Segura, 3 of them were Kreischer, bunch of Bill Burr, couple of Ricky Gervais. Like, you very quickly get through here.
Well, yeah, that's not 40 people. That's maybe like 25 to 30 people.
Yeah, with multiple whatevers. And I know for a fact, like, Ramesh Ranganathan's on there, James Acaster's on there, Catherine Ryan's on there, but they didn't show up in the search. That's weird, right?
Yeah, I don't know how you... There's obviously... But you know the way there's all those codes?
Yeah. Fucking
Maybe
weird,
find
isn't it? Just give me everything.
It is weird, though, yeah.
It's pushing...
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
It's pushing
it's like
something.
That's not how a library search engine works.
Yeah.
Like, kind of... It's all your content. Surely you should be showing all your content.
Yeah. I know for a fact that they've got, like, a range of international stand-up comedy, because for a while it was coming up, and it's like, I'd have to watch it with subtitles, but, like, you know, here's a Spanish, here's a South American, here's a... You know, there's stand-ups from all over the world.
Is there much Irish stand-up on it, I wonder?
Interesting. I don't know if there's an Irish comic with a Netflix special. Tommy Tiernan has never entirely been my taste, but sure, has he not got a special somewhere? I guess it's the Netflix distinction here, because I mean, Darragh O'Brien's had a lot of, like, he puts a DVD out annually, like, you know, it's a lot of Irish comics put out a thing.
Yeah, I'm just seeing if there's any Irish stand-up comics. Daniel Sloss, is he Irish?
Scottish. Have you ever watched his stuff?
No, I don't watch stand-up comedy. I used to years ago, but then I outgrew it.
Check out that
My older brother
Sloss stuff. It's good.
My older brother, shout out to Benny. Say hi to Benny.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, Benny. He would have watched tons of stand up when I was younger, when I was a kid. I remember him watching like lots of Bill Bailey. I want to say, what's his name? He would have been Ricky Gervais and all those people, and the likes of the guy who did Black Box.
Yeah.
Dermot, Dylan Moran. Yeah, Benny, like, kind of, he would have been buying stand-up DVDs. There was another guy, Ross Noble, Tim Mitchin, all those type of guys, you know. He could still have a huge collection of these things, but these are just the ones I remember when I was, like, living at home and stuff, you know. But I was actually, I won't go into that tangent. But yes, he used to watch, he would have had a lot of stand-up DVDs and all that kind of stuff growing up. But I don't watch them anymore, man. I don't watch, I think I've watched one or two stand-up specials, maybe on behalf of your kind of strong recommendation or encouragement to watch something, but I never really watched them.
We're going to go see John Mulaney in 10 days.
Who are?
You, me, Brian.
What day?
Wednesday the 18th?
Yes, I can't wait.
Had you forgotten?
No, I didn't. But I thought you said I am, and I was just like, oh, I thought we were going.
No, we're going.
I'm excited for that, man. That's going to be class. That's not next week, it's the week after though.
Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to see John Mulaney in the Olympia, which is kind of what I like about
the Olympia, brilliant.
It's the Olympia. I don't want to go to the 3 Arena. There's other comics playing this year that are like, we're doing here, and it's like, I don't want to mull in with, like, we are in the stalls like 5 rows back, like we're just low and sitting close. It's great.
Plus the last time we went to see comedy in the 3 Arena, it's so stressful to get out there and on time, and it's messy.
Trying to get a taxi when you leave, like, it's a whole to do, and it's just not great.
I'm sure we walked anyways, but yeah. I must sit down and kind of do a bit of a what's coming up, what am I looking forward to, TV shows, actors, you know, that kind of, like, just broadly across the streaming platforms. I did buy my Faja. I bought him Yellowstone.
Oh, right.
For Christmas.
Has he watched that?
He hasn't, but he will be diggity into it. But he and then obviously Harrison Ford is doing a prequel series to it or something.
Yeah.
I would like to watch Yellowstone. It's cowboy-esque as far as I understand. Kevin Costner is in it, right?
Yes, yeah. I get this like Sons of Anarchy kind of vibe off it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
where it's
that's okay. I like those type of shows.
Like, yeah, I know. I never did it. Just a bit macho.
I know. Yeah, I'm not even like I'm not even a particularly macho masculine person.
Yeah.
But I like those. I like Sons of Anarchy. I actually enjoy Sons of Anarchy, but like most TV shows, it always gets to a point where it's like this sort of ended like a long time ago, you know.
I guess just like I saw an ad for Paramount Plus. For some reason, Yellowstone doesn't appeal to me. I don't know what it is. I guess I don't know what the. I don't know. I should watch it. I've made a decision of what the intent or the ethos of the spirit of this show is.
See, I don't know anything about it except for people told me it's kind of like a modern western and I'd like it. I haven't even seen a trailer or anything.
I saw an ad for Paramount Plus that was just like they'd layered 3 shows on top of each other, and it was like Yellowstone, The Old Man, and I know it's not The Old Man because that's something else that's on a different channel. Maybe I'm wrong there. And then like 1923, so it was like Harrison Ford, Jeff Bridges, and Kevin Costner. And it was just like, Jesus, if you're an old white guy looking for old white guys being cantankerous and delivering violence on young upstarts, this is the... Are you an old white guy? Come to Paramount Plus. Like, that's the whole vibe I got off their marketing. It's just like, we want... Did you vote for Trump?
Yeah, but Paramount Plus is a new thing, right?
Yeah.
Like in this country.
In this country, yeah. Actually, yeah, why am I getting ads for Paramount Plus? I guess they want me to subscribe. I hate so many fucking streaming services. Like,
but that's what I'm saying. Benny subscribed to Paramount Plus. Shout out to Benny. But Benny subscribed to Happy New Year, Benny. Benny subscribed to Paramount Plus. So I'm interested in it, you know.
It was Tulsa King. It wasn't The Old Man. It was Tulsa King.
I don't know what that is. Oh, Tulsa King.
It's the
Who's
Stallone
in that?
thing. It's the Stallone.
Yeah.
So it was Kevin Costner, Harrison Ford, and Sylvester Stallone, and I was like, right, if you're an old white guy,
yeah, fair, yeah, but you know, they're demographic too, you know. I'm only joking, but they're not people.
Like trailer wise, this week then we had Renfield, with the Nick Cage Dracula. It looks fun. It I guess it gives Renfield vampire superpowers, but he's very kung fu-y fight choreography, doing like flips and B-twists and it's the kind of fight choreography that I'm like, this is too much. Like, if
too theatrical.
Yeah, it's like that stuff has its place and I love that stuff, I really do, but like I called it out in Werewolf by Night, where I'm like, why is he fighting like a choreographed, like, bounce off of him, pop with him, block, parry, like, he's a werewolf. Just tear through him like a fucking animal. Like, that's what I wanted.
Yeah.
That's what I wanted the werewolf fighting to be, not actually sort of combat, you know what I mean?
Combat, yeah.
I don't like to think that the
disciplined
werewolf...
self-defense, more like a flurry of mayhem.
Yeah, just shred
Berserk
people.
Mode. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't know if you ever... There's like... Oh, God. There's probably better examples, but I'm immediately thinking of like the episode of Buffy the Vampire Slayer where Oz turned into a werewolf. And it is still definitely a dude in a suit, but he's kind of like quadrupedic, like 4-legged walking, like chasing them through the high school hallways. And it's this really frenetic, like, holy shit, there's an animal chasing me vibe, you know?
Yeah. I was playing with my nephew yesterday, and they're all, like, you know, obligatory, like, run away from a monster type of game, you know. But I was chasing him and stuff, and it's just so funny because you can see like the genuine fear in him trying to get away and under the table, and you're clawing at him and you grab his leg, and then he gets free, and it's just the fear, the absolute fear is hilarious, you know. I remember like kind of getting immersed in, like, you know, imaginary games as a kid and being genuinely afraid of, like, you know, whoever was the monster or whatever, you know. I love it.
Well, I don't know. Nicholas Hoult is playing something quite funny in the trailer. Like, I liked him. He's kind of charismatic, and there's a lovely little moment.
I did see that, actually, yeah.
Oh, so you did watch the trailer?
I must have seen a bit of that anyways, yeah, somewhere.
Well, I shared it in the group chat.
Oh, sorry, you did share it in your group chat. Well, look, man, I was a family this weekend, so.
It looks like fun. I love Nicolas Cage. I do think he does some dog shit, but he also delivers some really fun performances. I think
as a person,
crap. It's got the sort of Sorcerer's Apprentice vibe. Do you remember that movie with Jay Baruchel?
See, not those type of things. Percy Jackson, The Sorcerer's Apprentice, all those things wouldn't be my jazz. That young adult kind of stuff. I don't think I was ever particularly enamored with it.
That, like,
even as a child.
I don't even know that it is that. Like, it's trying to jump off the Pirates of the Caribbean. Can we make a Disney property, a movie that works? You know, so the Sorcerer's Apprentice is coming out of the Mickey Mouse Fantasia in the basement, trying to, like, he uses the magic wand and the fucking water buckets overfill, and it's. Do you ever watch that?
What?
Did you ever watch Fantasia?
Yes, of course.
Do you know what I'm talking about when I talk about Mickey Mouse and the buckets? Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Rather than it being like a young adult novel, they then tried to.
I thought it was for some reason.
No, I think they took that idea and then went, okay, Sorcerer's Apprentice. We have this thing. It's Mickey Mouse, but what do we do with it? Okay, there's a sorcerer. There's an apprentice. Sorcerer is, I don't know, basically Merlin. Let's get Morgana in, like, and they just went kind of Arthurian, and so it tried to be something, but it wasn't great. And that's the vibe I get off this as well, like big dumb fun, I guess. I wish they'd give him, like, just give him vampire teeth. Just give him 2 fangs. He's got this weird, like, mouthpiece where he's got like 3 little teeth for every tooth. And it's like, why are we doing this? We know what vampires look like. Do that.
Fair.
There's a mystery show coming with Natasha Lyonne called Poker Face. I think that's got to be coming out the call for her to be Columbo-y.
Yes, I know. Yeah. She was in Glass Onion.
Yes, she did pop up in there alongside Angela Lansbury, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and it had Stephen S. And I thought it was... it's Stephen Sondheim. I had this feeling that Stephen Sondheim was dead. So I didn't want to say Stephen Sondheim and it not be him. Stephen Sondheim, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, basketball player in the Bruce Lee movie. 7 foot.
Oh, yeah.
In Airplane.
Yeah, I would recognize him, alright. Let me just... I can't find the image, but I do recognize... Yeah, of course, well, the 3 of them, I think it was, so...
And
I don't recognize...
Okay,
Stephen.
now I know why Sondheim died in 2021. So...
Oh, okay.
I was trying to say... I was going to say Stephen Sondheim's in it, and I was like, isn't he dead?
So poor old Jessica. Jessica, can't say her name. Lansbury.
Angela Lansbury.
Angela. Oh yeah, she's Jessica Fletcher in.
That's it.
Yes. But anyways, she passed away.
Yes.
Yeah, so she passed away. So it's not unheard of.
Yeah. So Benoit Blanc has two cases to solve.
Dun, dun, dun.
I think it was Natasha Lyonne.
Speaking of The Glass Onion, because I watched it.
Very good. Did you enjoy it?
I liked it. It's different than Knives Out.
Yep. You saw it, you liked it. It's different than Knives Out.
Yes, it is different than Knives Out. I liked Knives Out a bit better. I felt like Glass Onion was a little bit more animated or bombastic or something than Knives Out. And Knives Out was a little bit more subdued. But give me more of these movies, man. Give me a fucking 15 of them.
So what it is we have an understanding of what old money is. You know, the big old house, the rooms full of antiques, the cravat wearing, the entitlement. Yeah. Like lots of old brown furniture, you know, old wood. The world of the tech billionaire is slightly more alien and kind of silly to us. I mean, I think if you were to dig into, you know, and like we talked about this a little bit last year, like the Addams family weren't originally, like, they got creepier, but like they weren't monsters initially. They were a sort of parody of the old sort of Victorian Edwardian era wealthy in America, you know, that sort of American
Gothic.
Yeah, kind of Gothic, isn't that the word? East Coast elite, I guess. This is a parody of like the modern magnate or whatever you call them, tycoons, and that features stuff that like seems science fiction to us, you know, like giant glass structures and cars floating and, you know, robot luggage carrier and like all of these things like exist,
alarm systems and
and sort of like, you know, hiring, did you say Brian Eno or Philip Glass. They hired someone to compose the hourly dong.
Yeah, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
That did the voice of it, but he sort of throws away the idea that, like, oh, I hired Philip Glass to do the composing.
Oh, yes. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know,
Oh, yeah, I
and-
understand. Yes, yeah, yeah.
And that's a spoof of...
I know, just the...
Well,
excessive
Bill Gates or Microsoft hired... I think they hired Philip Glass to do that sort of do. You know, when Windows turns on?
Yes, yeah,
Like,
yeah.
that was specifically composed, you know, and they made a big deal of that in the 90s, you know?
I find him a really great character, but I feel like I didn't get as much of him in this one for some reason, to a degree.
I would argue that we got way more of him.
Maybe. Like, yeah, it's been a long time since I've seen Knives Out, but I will
If
say
you
though,
watch Knives Out, we spend so much time with Martha.
okay,
And Benoit's there and he's walking around. But the funny thing about that is, as much as people came away from it loving Benoit, he's very passive. And you get this idea almost that you're like, is he useless? Is he just a kind of goofy whatever?
that's a Columbo bit, isn't it?
A little bit, but like it isn't until towards the end of it when he points out the blood he spotted on her shoe the moment he met her that you realise that like
Columbo,
he's
man.
known from moment one.
Yeah,
Where he's known from moment one everything about at least Marta, you know?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
like we've felt like he's missed a trick or he doesn't understand or he's missing obvious things.
yeah,
He must be not a great detective. Whereas this one, and again we're going to just avoid spoilers with it because it's so mystery
Yes.
fun, but like this one, you know, we do have a moment where he sort of goes, well, I'll show up and turn on a little bit of the Southern hokum. And it's done from a position of very high status in his apartment,
Yes.
and you realize just sort of how like
how kind of diligent
put
or,
together he is. Yeah. So
premeditated about this approach. But
Yeah.
because Columbo was always the same thing. Columbo would always like kind of be leaving, and the person would be like frustrated after interaction with him, and then he'd be leaving the room, and hey, you know, just one more thing, you know, and the person would be like, oh my god, they'd be just frustrated, you know. He was great, like he just weared him down through pure, like, you know, I don't know how you would say, like just nonsense, you know.
yeah. So Glass Onion out of 5.
I'd say 3.54.
Yeah. I gave it a 4.
Yeah.
And the only reason I took the sort of 1 away was we know what this world is now. So Knives Out was a surprise. So I know what I'm walking into. It doesn't have that sort of surprise element to it. And some of the modern billionaire stuff, while kind of accurate, is so goofy and broad compared to what you saw in Knives Out. But even Knives Out, you had the old grandmother sitting at the window and it's like, ransom, is that you? Like this sort of like Knives Out is a very funny movie.
Yep.
I do like that Ryan Johnson has sort of found his way back to like detective noir mystery stuff.
Why, what else
you know,
has he
the
done?
first thing I found, like the first Ryan Johnson film I saw was Brick with Joseph
I love
Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah.
And I loved that. And he's gone on this little
Brick is
round the
fucking
world
awesome.
thing back to Detective Story, which is
Great.
kind of funny, isn't it?
Yeah, Brick is great.
And there's now a sort of like run on this sort of mystery murder thing, you know, like See How They Run was there with
Yeah.
Rockwell and Ronan. And
Yep.
there's like 7 Women, 1 Murder or something's on Netflix as well.
Yeah, there's another what do you call it? The new Christian Bale Edgar Allan Poe movie.
I just watched it last night. The Pale Blue Eye.
Did you like it?
I gave it 3 stars. I'm now ranking things by stars. We'll come to that.
Oh yes.
I enjoyed
I
it
think-
a lot. It's visually beautiful. The actors are great. The cast are great. The costume design is great.
Yeah.
It's really atmospheric. It's
Yeah.
too long.
Okay.
It doesn't quite get to its point quick enough, or at the very least,
Okay.
we're way ahead of it. Without saying anything about the ending, really, it didn't work for me. So I came away kind of like, it's not 100%. And here's an odd thing I noticed watching it. Early on in it, scene quite early in it where Christian Bale's character is called to the military academy. I think it's West Point, but they never call it West Point, but it's the American Military Academy. And Christian Bale is in a scene with Timothy Spall and Simon McBurney. And I had this moment where I was like, wait, Bale is Welsh, I think? And Timothy Spall's definitely British, McBurney's definitely British, and they're all doing like southern accent, or they're doing very Yankee accents. And then as the movie goes on, you meet like Toby Jones and Gillian Anderson and Lucy Boynton. It's just English people or British people, to be sort of broader here, because again, I know Bale is Welsh. I don't know the rest of them. Harry Melling's British. There's I don't know, a little investigation, and there are a few of the sort of younger characters are American actors, but it's really weird that it's all Brits. Do they have no American actors? And the thing as well is, Bale has been doing American accents in things for so long, or at least a sort of like general American thing that you don't really know where he's supposed to be from, that like I don't blink twice when I see, there's no reaction when I see Christian Bale with his American accent going, but when Timothy Spall's then doing it and Simon McBurney are then doing it, I'm sort of like, Christian Bale's the only character that feels real, because that sounds like Christian Bale's voice, whereas everybody else is doing a put on. Does that make sense?
Yes. Did they go into the fact that Edgar Allan Poe invented the word detective?
No.
That's a true fact.
He invented the word detective?
Yes.
The only one person in it that felt like it was a real American accent was Christian Bale. And I don't even know that it's a good American accent out of Christian Bale. It's the only voice we know from him. You know,
it's just kind of his, it's his Bruce Wayne voice. It's his, it's just anything that's not his natural accent, isn't it?
Well, he's done so much of that like when you see him in interviews going, I don't know, mate, it was just doing a bit of acting, and then and the world went, wait, hold on, he sounds like what? Like,
I never heard it. I don't think I speak like that. Yeah.
No, he's got a pretty full on British guy voice when you actually hear his voice, and you're like, that's weird. Is that what you sound like? We're so used to you being,
and everything else.
Yeah.
Anything but. Okay, so yeah, I want to watch that movie.
It's good. Do check it out. It's a bit long. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the end of it, but again, we're going into 2023 being a little less spoilery on the podcast.
Yes, yes.
And, check it out. Like, so many of these Netflix movies are very polished looking, and then you watch them and you're like, this is sort of like, it's doing all the right things in terms of, like, Renfield, which we talked about briefly, very sharp, clean looking film, lots of nice lights on things, like cars are underlit, there's like 3 points of lighting with different colours, and like it looks very slick, but at the same time that feels very superficial and like not all that engaging sometimes. Anyway, that's The Pale Blue Eye. One of the things I started doing over Christmas was I downloaded the Letterboxd app, and it's completely the result of like the Spotify end of year thing.
Yes.
Well, Letterboxd does this too, and now I know enough people on here that I started seeing all of their like years in review, and the marketing tool that is that year in review thing worked, and I signed up for Letterboxd, because it'll now keep track of, here's all the films you watched, and you can review them and share that with people.
I'm going to do that as well.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to do it right now. Well, not right now, but yes. I'm going to get Letterboxd, and I can do it as well, because I watched the movie last night now and I can't fucking remember for the life of me what it was.
Yeah, I think it's a real fun little game, and being able to like again look back at the end of the year and go, I watched 400 films, and many of them were this director, and this many of them were this person. And
you rated them and all that jazz.
Yeah, there's a little review option as well, but you don't have to fill that in. I get anxious with that, where I'm like, I don't want to actually put an opinion in writing, because you know me from talking to me that like I I try to see both sides of every argument about this sort of stuff. If you catch me in 1 minute, I'm like, it's a good fun film. Catch me in the next minute, it's a piece of shit, really. But you know what I mean? I was looking at somebody who's like rated 1,000 films, and like every review is like even if it's just a sentence, it's quite funny. And it's like, oh god, I'm not doing that. To actively put some thought into. But I'm gonna go the easier route and like mostly just hit the star ratings and track my films.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to do it because it's a good idea. Because like I've always said, I'd love to have a compiled list of all the movies I've seen and I've rated them and stuff, you know. And that app's genius. I'm going to do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go backwards as well. And if I think I've watched that film, I'll put a rating against it because it wants to like get the date or at least log the date you watched it. Like you don't have to choose the date you watched it, but it'll log the day you did it as well. So you'd be like, that's the day and date I watched it.
I think what I'll do is I'll just start using it from now. I watched tons of stuff over Christmas because that's the perfect time to watch a ton of stuff.
Yeah,
but
I think we'll drip feed some of this out and just pick our favorites. So what did you watch last night?
Oh yeah. Well, no, I was just going to say last night we put on for the crack. We put it on Wild Mountain Thyme or whatever it was called.
Okay, go on. That's man, Emily Blunt, Jamie Dornan, Blunt, Christopher Walken.
Yeah. Oh,
anyone else?
So bad. I can't even remember. We just turned it off. It was terrible.
Well,
watched about 20 minutes of it, and it's just awful. And nothing happens in it. 20 minutes, half an hour, nothing. Awful. Not even remotely funny. Just terrible. What were they fucking thinking?
You have to finish it. We need a full review. I need to know where it goes. I need to know if there's any character development. You can't just come at me like you've given me the equivalent review of me not watching it. My review, having not watched it, is that looks bad, and you've come back and went, I've put a third of the effort in, and it's bad.
Yes, I tried to watch it. You guys don't watch stuff all the time and say it's bad. Why do I have?
Because you watched a third of it. You got to watch the rest of it.
Oh.
Yeah, you do. You got to give over the rest of your weekend now to watching Wild Mountain Thyme. Did you get to the point where he thinks he's a bee?
No.
Apparently he thinks he's a bee or something, and that's why he's incapable of having relationships with people because he's an insect. I don't know. I've got half muddled reviews with that, but that is closer to the truth than I wish it was.
Oh my god, that's crazy. We turned it off and then watched something else, but I can't even remember what we watched, which is terrible.
Did you watch a movie or a show?
Remember movie. And we put out. We were going to start watching The Net with Sandra Bullock as well.
Oh yeah,
great movie. Oh, we watched The Craigslist Killer. That was terrible because we were watching Wild Mountain Thyme or whatever, and then we were just like, right, if it's not good, we'll turn it off, and it wasn't good. So then we were just like, oh, we were looking at different things. We were kind of thinking maybe a thriller or something. We saw The Craigslist Killer. We thought like maybe that would be good. And it's like, you know what? I'm not going to look at the review of it. I'm just going to put on the movie and see, just watch it. But it wasn't very good. Terrible person as well. He's a narcissist, a crazy narcissist, medical student, killer, small dick energy person. That's
another thing that happened over the Christmas period.
What was that, buddy?
The Andrew Tate.
Oh yes. Fair play to Greta.
Fair play to the Romanian authorities as well. That's
and fuck Andrew Tate and his corrupt legion.
Fuck so him. Stupid.
Fuck him. I don't even know what he's about.
Oh man, somebody linked to his website. He's if ever you've seen somebody trying, like, that sort of like inspirational fucking alpha male type of seminar shite that people sell.
Yeah, like that
I can make you this and
negging and stuff.
But like this site is basically going, hey, I human traffic and here's how I do it. You can subscribe to my course. Like he doesn't say human traffic, but he's like, I made my money by getting women onto cams, like cam girl stuff. And my job was to be charismatic enough that they do things for me. And I've got X amount of people onto cameras who would never have thought about it before. I was like, you're basically telling people anyway, horrible.
Oh my god. That's what this guy is about. And people fucking like and follow.
Let's not even, it's just he's the worst.
I can't even get
every video of him was worse. Vile
human being.
He achieved a high follower count by appealing to the worst people in the world.
Yeah, what a scumbag. Anyways, fuck him. What? Where's he from?
I don't care. I just thought it was amazing that he got caught the same way they caught Tracy Jordan in 30 Rock. He just put a pizza box on the table and they figured out where he was.
So funny. So funny. Fuck him, though. Fuck him. May he rot in fucking hell.
Good stuff going into 2023. So far, we're bringing good vibes and positivity.
Lots of people died. Pele.
Wow, that was okay, Pele passed away. I guess the Queen died. Who else are we saying died?
Loads of people died, like kind of famous people. I can't think now, but in the last couple of weeks. Yeah. Always happens.
I mean, I was trying to steer us towards the positivity we want in the new year, and the life-affirming whatever the hell.
You can only appreciate the positivity when you acknowledge the negativity. There is no light without dark. Did you see Avatar 2 in the end? You did, didn't you? Oh,
I did, yeah. We talked about it in the last episode.
My brother saw Shout Out to Benny.
Shout out to Benny. Happy New Year, Benny.
Said, Happy New Year, Benny. And said he liked it, but just as a pure spectacle type of thing.
Yeah. My issue with it is not that it's a bad movie, it's that we're being told it's the best movie in the world, it's groundbreaking, it's an earth-shattering change of the paradigm, and it's all of this X, Y, and Z, and then on top of that they spent so much money making the fucking thing. It's gonna yield good things for technology and filmmaking, absolutely, and it's a okay action movie. It's fine.
Yeah, fair. Fair. I watched Pulp Fiction the other day, I would say for the first time in my adult life, because I certainly watched it before. Yeah, because you see, I've kind of acknowledged, right, that like there's basically, right, there's movies I would have watched, say, 15 to 20 years ago.
Yeah.
That in all fairness,
you're a different person. You've got a different viewpoint of the world now.
And I also do not remember 90% of it, So there's the occasional, like, kind of like, but basically it's just like, I haven't seen that before, although like I have, but like, but I don't remember. So it's just like a lot of those kind of movies, I'm just like, you know what, I know I've seen them and stuff, but it's like, I couldn't tell you a single thing about it. And if someone was to talk to me about Pulp Fiction, I wouldn't have a clue, So I was like, so we're going to go back and rewatch a few of the old kind of more classic-y type of stuff like that would be cool. But,
do you like it?
Yeah, I can see how it was like different and influential at the time and all that kind of stuff, Tarantino should not be in any of his movies, but yeah.
In the same vein, I watched The Royal Tenenbaums yesterday.
Yeah, and fair. You see, that's another one I've seen, but I don't remember.
You should watch it. You should put it on today. Yeah. It's really good fun. It's just a nice world to be in. I had forgotten a couple of things, right? I had never really forgotten the archetypal images of these people, but based on the sort of weight that I've put on it at this point, I had forgotten that was Gwyneth Paltrow.
Okay.
Because I have such a goop,
brain.
No, like her company
perception
goop.
of her in your brain. Yes, I know. Yeah.
Perception of her and this sort of fucking what even would you call it? Like health products, culture. New wave, just nonsense. I have such a negative association with her based on all of that bullshit that I forgot that I liked her and things. So I'm watching Royal Tenenbaums. I'm going, oh yeah, I used to really like Gwyneth Paltrow and stuff. And also I had completely forgotten that Alec Baldwin's the voiceover in that movie.
No, I didn't know.
You didn't notice that?
I don't remember. I just remember Owen Wilson is in it.
Yes, Owen Wilson, Luke Wilson, Danny Glover, Bill Murray, Gene Hackman, Angelica Houston.
Few the old hedge.
It's great. Ben Stiller. It's worth digging out. It's really fun. Wes Anderson's always been Wes Anderson. Do you know what I should watch and I have never watched?
What?
Big gap in the Wes Anderson catalogue. Bottle Rocket. First movie.
What is it?
Bottle Rocket. It's his first movie. People love it.
Don't know if I've seen it.
No,
am I
enamored?
Excuse me. Do not interrupt me. Can I finish? Am I enamored with Wes Anderson?
All right, well, let's do a little Wes Anderson rundown of the movies. Let me pull them up here real quick. And you tell me what you've seen. And you tell me whether or not it arouses your amour. Whether you are enamored.
Oh, I like that. Let's
see
find out
if
what
it
arouses my
amour.
What's
First
the Irish
movie?
Oscailga version of that?
on Will.
Don't do it.
I'm not going to
Don't
do
you
it. It's the
fucking-
worst thing in the
don't you
world
do
when
it.
Irish people do
I
that because they think
hate
it's
it.
the only
Oh,
Irish that people...
God.
It's like, please, fucking, can we not? 1996, Bottle Rocket. Have you seen it?
Not seen it.
Okay. 1998, Rushmore. Have you seen it?
Most definitely yes. Do not remember it whatsoever.
Right. I have
Rushmore,
seen...
is that the one where he's in college or high school?
It's a high school. Bill Murray. It's the first
Yeah,
one that Murray
and
worked with him.
And he's trying to get elected or something, isn't it? As student council or something.
Yeah, something like
Yeah,
that.
I did see it. I did like it.
At the same time, you
but,
have Election with Reese Witherspoon
I
and
know,
Matthew Broderick
Reese
as well.
Witherspoon,
That gets mixed up.
And that's brilliant. Election is great. Rushmore, okay.
Rushmore, Royal Tenenbaums, Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou.
I've no recollection of the Royal Tenenbaums. I did watch The Life Aquatic and I did enjoy it.
The Darjeeling Limited,
Nope.
Fantastic Mr. Fox,
Nope.
Moonrise Kingdom,
Nope.
Grand Budapest Hotel.
Nope.
Have you not seen that?
Nope.
Oh, buddy, we're doing a Wes Anderson-a-thon.
Oh, cool.
Isle of Dogs,
Nope.
The French Dispatch.
Nope.
Wow. Okay. Well, you're out of Wes Anderson's. There was a little while back where I had not seen Moonrise Kingdom. I had not seen The French Dispatch. I had not seen Isle of Dogs. I had not seen The Darjeeling Limited. And I realized one day I really like Wes Anderson movies, and I haven't seen like 50% of his films. So I had this like great little like, oh, I've got this pocket of stuff. I remember seeing him talk about The Life Aquatic with Steve Zissou, and he talked about how he had like got such a big budget and gone overboard, and it had been so kind of like it was an overreach. Now maybe it's the case of the budget was too big and the return was too little, but I don't ever think he backed off. If anything, I think he accelerated. Like The French Dispatch is so hardcore Wes Anderson. It's like 3 little mini stories or 4 little vignettes, as if, you know, written by different authors from a magazine. You know, Owen Wilson is the sort of like colour of the city kind of guy who writes about the town and everything that's in it, and they use him to set up the world. And then you get the next article that's about a little political upheaval going on, and you get those cast of characters, and it's all framed as, you know, the French Dispatch was a magazine from X year to Y year, and it was run by Bill Murray as the editor, and he had these authors or writers, and it's lovely, but it's so Bill Murray or so Wes Anderson. It's like, it's lovely, but it's so Wes Anderson. It's fucking hardcore Wes Anderson. All right, well look, let's make an agreement. We have talked about Glass Onion. We have talked about The Pale Blue Eye. We've talked about our Christmases, our holidays. We've talked about some upcoming stuff. Let's talk about what we're going to watch for next week.
Yes.
Do you want to watch Bottle Rocket and talk about it?
That sounded very like you were some sort of counselor / therapist. Would you like to watch Bottle Rocket and talk about it? Yeah, I can do.
Let's
Sure.
watch Bottle Rocket and come back as two people that have never
Cool.
seen Bottle Rocket.
Okay, let's do it. I was going to make just one, because we're going to finish up. We have a nice rounded episode here. You had mentioned it because I did listen to yourself and Brian talk
Yes.
last time.
I don't often recommend doing that, but listening to myself and Brian talk.
It's horrendous.
Yeah,
But
it's pretty
what I was
bad.
going to say is, you had mentioned Violent Night. Did you get to see it?
I didn't get to see it, and now it's like not Christmas, and I feel like I need to wait till Christmas.
Can I be honest?
Go on.
I saw it.
Yeah.
I thoroughly enjoyed the fuck out of it. It's so stupid. It's so over the top, and like in some people's eyes, probably awful. It is fucking great.
But it's like
so,
Santa Does Die Hard, right?
So silly, so much fun. Yep, exactly.
And they just double down on that, and it's good fun.
Class. It's
great.
Class. Basically, like, kind of, you learn a little bit about Santa's past and where he came from and stuff, and you know, there's a scene where, I won't give too much away, but there's a scene where Santa kind of gets reacquainted with an old, how would you say, reacquainted with an old
flame.
Yeah, let's say old flame or an old part of his past life.
Okay.
And once he reacquaints himself, it gets wild as fuck, and it's great. It's so much fun. I thoroughly enjoyed it, but it's so silly. It's my type of movie. I like that stuff. Not like, even if it's like not an action movie, I like that kind of, it's when it's like, if it's a thriller or if it's a noir, if it's whatever, but there's loads of mad characters and mad things and just fun.
Fair enough. Well,
yeah,
I will see. I just don't feel like I can watch it in February.
I know. Watch it. You could watch it tonight, buddy, because at the end of the day, there's still Christmas lights around town.
That's true.
You could watch it tonight. So yes. So next week, we'll watch Bottle Rocket.
Bottle Rocket.
Bottle Rocket.
Bottle Rocket.
And
okay,
discuss.
Cool. Okay, cool.
Also, small shout out to TV shows like The Patient. If people are watching it, I hope they're enjoying it. It's pretty good. I'm enjoying it so far. I'm looking forward to see how it ends. So, if we release this episode on Monday, that's the first episode of the year.
Yes, indeed, in episode 93.
But technically the second episode, or like technically the second week of January, right?
Sure. Yeah.
So we're looking to do. So basically, we're looking at doing another 50 episodes this year, right?
Hopefully, yeah.
Yeah. Okay, cool, awesome. Here's the next 50.
We need to work out something to do for episode 100.
We do need to work out something to do for that. We have to find out what date that will be.
Yeah.
And then do it.
Which is doable.
Let's find out what date.
Let's work that out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tomorrow would be what's the date tomorrow? What's episode tomorrow? 93. So 93, 94, 95, 96, 97, 98, 99, 100. Okay, so we're basically doing episode 100 on the week of the 27th of February.
Yes.
What's wrong with you?
I just laughed at in my head, I'm winding up the episode and I'm like, okay, so I can just finish it. Will I finish it with a funny thing like we always do? Or will we say, New Year, let's end with thank you everybody for listening to this episode of The Endless Stream. That's been episode 92. We hope you enjoyed it. Please tell your friends, share the podcast. We'll see you all next week.
Like, smash, and subscribe.
And then you just started counting. And I'm like, I'm going to end this with just you counting. 97, 98, 99. Yeah.